again, YouTube. This is Dr. Kendo, and welcome to Move or Die Day Friday. Yes, this is where we create modded characters, I guess I should say, in Move or Die. This game that is basically, the principles are, as you would imagine, you move or you die. Your health will continue to deplete, I guess, if you are not moving. So just stay moving throughout the various minigames. So all of these minigames are very quick, very short usually. You know, sometimes you can have an intense match that'll last a while, but this one, for example, is timed. And so hopefully you, of course, notice that our mod characters today, I did create these. These are the Charmander evolution for our Move or Die mods. And so this level, we've got falling blocks. The last one, you know, you had to basically touch the floor and make the floor tiles turn your color. And whoever ended up with more tiles in their color wins the game. But of course, I just won the overall thing. You know, I was playing as Charizard just now, and I just won all of it. The last one was self-explanatory, the falling blocks. That's basically where you just have to dodge the falling blocks, and the last one to be alive wins it. So now I've selected Jump Shot and Vertigo, two of my favorite games, I guess, mini games here in Move or Die. And so they keep pushing me around. Let me move over here. No! Crazy things can happen like that at a moment's notice in Move or Die, and so this is now just between our AI bots who seem to have gotten into a stalemate, and it was a draw, so whatever, we all get points. Anyway, Charmander actually just made the first mistake I was going to point out, and then Charmeleon just made the other, you know, the same thing. It was basically just that I was going to say, you don't want to jump too high when the dangerous area on this Vertigo minigame is up at the top, because then you'll jump and not realize, oops, I'm going to hit the ceiling, which will kill you. Sometimes the ceiling is safe, but a lot of the times it'll have those red X's. So anyway, now I'm going to play as Charmander, and we're doing Cleanup Crew, and so this is like anti-Splatoon. You know, in Splatoon, you want to make things as inked up as possible. Here, you want to squeegee as much ink and clean it up as you can, and so whoever cleans up the most of the ink wins the match, which was me, of course, as the Charmander this time. Taking a lot of victories here for this episode that I am giving to you guys. And so, yes, some people have asked, not a whole lot, but some people have asked about the mod process and how exactly you do it. You know, I mention every time that I use Photoshop, and I actually show off all the Photoshop kind of inner workings that I do here. So like this, for example, I start off with a source character from Move or Die called Brains. Brains is sort of the most just neutral, you know, you're not going to have to deal with all the little eyeballs and all the different expressions. And on that note, actually, some people have asked, you know, can you make your mods have facial expressions? Well, you actually cannot if you do them the way that I've done it here, for example. So if I was going to make them that minion chicken nugget shape exactly, then the eyeballs would line up. So they could have little eyeball expressions, and you could make the eyes smaller or bigger according to your character's size, but they really need to fit within those parameters. So in essence, if I was to put in eyeball expressions or whatever for my characters, this is a prime example too. You can see the Charmeleon's Photoshop inner workings right here. You only see one eye. You see kind of the edge of that other eye, but you know, we're not looking at Charmeleon straight on. We're looking at him sort of at an angle. He's looking a little bit to our right now, to his left. And so in essence, you know, we would have to first of all delete one eye, but then hope that the one eye that's left in the facial expressions matches up exactly with where it's supposed to be. And on these characters, since they're fat and minion shaped, you know, in Move or Die, that's kind of how all the characters are. Most of the characters, I should say. Any of the ones with expressions, at least, that have the eyeballs and stuff, they would not line up, and it would change the entire design of pretty much every mod that I've ever done. Even when I do make my mods a little bit fatter with the tiny legs, like I did Deadpool characters just last week, and a prime example that I always use is the Sonic and FNAF characters. You can see in those episodes, I did try to adhere a little bit more to the Move or Die style, but the expressions thing still wouldn't fit with them. It still wouldn't work out. But if you've seen those characters that I modded, they do have like really fat bodies, semi-big heads, and tiny little legs. But again, to get the expressions and stuff, the facial expressions, you would have to use a character that has them. So like Joe, for example, is kind of the main source character from Move or Die that has the little eyeball expressions and the mouth. But again, they are fixed. They're fixed in a certain position. So we would not be able to move the eyeballs very much, and we would just have to hope that they are sized correctly and positioned correctly, and plan one last time, just to be sure that everybody understands. I would have to make the mod exactly this shape. You can see this sort of where the black outline is of this character. It would have to be this sort of ghostly minion shape. But anyway, I really appreciate your support. Hopefully you noticed, just to close out the commentary here, that we made our Charizard flying instead of walking. Anytime that you want to do that in Move or Die, you just wouldn't put anything down on the feet. So in the Photoshop file here, you'll notice that there is some blank space to the right of our full Charizard character. This will make him look like he's flying instead of walking, since there aren't any feet placed into the feet positions. But okay, go ahead and suggest what you think that we should mod into Move or Die next in the realm of characters. And of course, I will catch you on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
I slid down a mountain and I busted through some walls. Then I walked a burning coal as the acid rain falls. Do others do this too, or have I been called upon? If I could see you here with me, I would say come on.